Hello and welcome back to Not Another Leeds podcast. Because another Leeds United podcast, what's the army? There isn't. That's the best thing. Here comes the money.
Shane McMahon just popped up there.
So today I'm joined by Dad from the Lads to Leeds podcast. Some of you might remember him from back in the day. Say hello, Dad.
Good evening, all.
I'm not going to call you Daddy because that's just weird.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm calling you Papa.
You might recognise these other two. These are the two veg to my meat, if you will. It's Kev and James from the Leeds House podcast. How are you doing, guys?
All right, mate. Yeah, all right.
I'm
not a tomorrow.
You just called them
I'm not
vegetables. It's not. Yeah, it's. I was going to say.
You're calling yourself just pure meat as well, you weirdo.
I never said
Anyway,
this was
we're
a good
good.
podcast.
We're good.
I never said it were a good one. I just said, what's the harm in having another? Right then, lads. So let's go all the way back to last Sunday. We've travelled down to the Big Smoke in Millwall. And how were we feeling before the game? James?
I thought it might have been a hairy game because of who it was and our recent history against them. We ain't really done well down there, have we? So, but I was still quite confident that we'd be too good for them. But maybe not as comfortable as it turned out to be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't very confident with the reputation. Well, how should I say? We don't do well in London, do we? What about you, Dad? How did you feel?
Do you know what? I was okay about. I actually really look forward to the Millwall games. It was kind of like one of those that I was actually chuffed was back. I'm probably like you lot. I'm trying not to get too invested in scrubbing up on any championship information or teams because I just don't want to be here that long. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of Millwall one. I was like, yeah, this is always a lovely, tasty game. The fans, especially, even if it's like at home and you walk into Ellen Road on the day and you're hearing all the rumours the Millwall fans are destroying the city centre and they're coming in on the buses with all the cops. It adds to a bit of great atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I was quite looking forward to it.
Yeah, and all the crayons have gone because they've eaten them all. Kev?
I've got to agree with Dad there. I do like the game, but I'll agree with James is that I weren't very confident going into it. I thought it was actually going to be a draw, but again, I don't know anything about these championship teams. I don't know any of the players. I thought that Wallace that was playing for Millwall was Jed Wallace still, and he's at West Brom now. So I don't know nothing about him. It's just, I mean, maybe we're just Premiership snobs for a few years and we'll come back down and we don't care. It's just really weird that I've got no interest in it. I just want to know who we're playing on next game and see who turns up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was doing the Three Peaks, so I couldn't really watch the game. But did I mention
Did
that
you do
I
Three
did the
Peaks?
Three Peaks? Did I
you
mention
do
that? No. Oh,
Did you win?
Any video pictures up or anything?
Yeah, I won. Yeah. You should see the at Three Peaks.
Yeah, you own the Three Peaks now. Danny owns it.
Yeah, that's it. Claimed as just Not Another Leeds podcast flag on each peak. So
I had 3 meats at the weekend on my roast. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
3 meats.
Saying you're like a pure meat as well, Danny. I've seen your legs in them tight pants on the mountain, mate.
It's all an illusion. I've had to Photoshop them because they were that big. I've had to cut them down. Anyway, so we're going into the game, and 15 minutes we score a very well. It looked like off the Churning Park goal. I mean, first of all, Archie Gray. Well, we'll go back to the Luke Ayling ferret impersonation with a ball because he was just on the floor doing this.
That was brilliant.
And then it came out to Archie Gray. He found Rutter, who I don't want to call it a spin because I feel like it's disrespectful. So I'm going to say a scrumptious pirouette, and just ran with it, and and a sequence of events. And I just thought what a great goal. Don't you think, Kev?
It was wicked. It reminded me of watching the old show Gladiators where he had to spin around and run away. It was absolute class. Just amazing. It was really, really good. When he did, I'm just calling it the spin move because the way he turned on the ball, it was just like, huh? but wicked at the same time. Just really good. Yeah, I was happy with that. I was bouncing when that goal went in big time.
Yeah, I've watched it over and over and over, and I just can't get over how good it is. James, how did you feel when you saw that?
It was magic, weren't it? A nice little bit of magic. I liked his little spin. I liked the run from Pirot where he just ran straight through and he jumped over the ball, and it was like, yeah, it's nice to watch. You haven't seen much of that in recent history, so more of that, please, Leeds United.
And and the fact is that Rutter could have just took that shot on by himself, but he saw Pirot just running.
Rutter should never try that. He's proving he's pretty bloody awful at finishing, unless it's in right there in front of him. Do you know what? Lads, wasn't it just fucking awesome seeing us play like that? Wasn't it just like, it was kind of like, this is all we've wanted. The bit of Bielsa-esque type football is back with us, and we just dominated that Millwall scumbags. Like, they didn't them, did they? Even their fans, we didn't know what was going on. It was absolutely wonderful. And like you say, I was getting excited there, Danny, just hearing you talk about that goal again, because the way it just developed was absolutely wonderful. And it kind of felt like, this is all we want. This is all. This is it. Let's just batter them 3-0. All we've ever wanted. It was great.
It was absolutely.
Do you know the good thing about that goal was, because we sort of fucked up at the start, didn't we? The way it bounced off Ayling and that, and like you hear all the crowd going, oh, and then we're like, oh, you're booing us, are you? Watch this then, bang, 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 bang. Have a bit of that.
Zip, zip, zip. It was brilliant, wasn't it? Like, have you seen the footage from the fan perspective of the Millwall fans?
Yes.
And they're like, hey,
Beaten, CUNTs.
It is beautiful. It's as awful a word as it is. That it is just absolute, like, put it in my veins hearing Millwall fans lose their heads. You know what I mean? It's just wonderful. Like, I was just watching
like my mum on a Sunday night
videos the whole time. just like, right, this is, it's like you watch Arsenal TV, fan TV, when they lose, or you watch that knobhead Man United fan who's on Talk Sport. It's like you always go there when they lose because you just love seeing it. It's great.
The Schadenfreude just gives you that hit, doesn't it? That rush of endorphins. If I could bottle it and sell it, I'd be a millionaire. So the second goal was
pure quality, mate. Absolute class.
Dan James meant it.
He did. Of course he did. We all know that. Everyone knows Dan James meant that.
He meant to do. If you watch the slow-mo, I think it's from the corner flag angle of the opposite way to where the ball comes in. I think the closer he's meaning to touch that over, and he just like looks really awkward in doing it. Obviously, like he's fallen over, but I think he had to do it. I don't think he intended to shoot at any point.
I think you've been really nice to him there.
Yeah,
it's a null assist. I called it
the pass from Ruta was really good though. The pass from Ruta, that little pass back into him because I thought he was going to shoot. That was really good. Yeah, James, which is cool. He got an assist. That's all we'll say. He got an assist there.
Yeah, two, didn't he? He got two that day.
I think they took the last one off him, haven't they? Because it took a deflection off the player. Yeah,
have they?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh well.
Yeah, they have. He was actually, believe it or not, lads, it's early days. I think he was up for one of the most assisted players. I think he was like at the top, but then they took it off him, so he dropped down.
That would have been his third of the season, actually, wouldn't it? Yeah, thinking about it. That's crazy. Dan James 3 assists before Christmas.
I'll listen.
Mental.
Alisson here has hit the nail on the head. His feet are quicker than the ball.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
she's spot on there.
And his brain,
well Sonic, isn't he?
Yeah,
and his brain.
Yeah. What did I say?
The ball.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think Dan James is a great player to bring on in the last 15-20 minutes when you've absolutely been like playing Farkable for most of the match and they're knackered, and then he's got some space to run into. Obviously, when he's starting, he gets found out a little bit, doesn't he? And he just can't shoot either. So
It's finishing
Yeah,
is terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what always lets him down. But I think he's an exciting player to have on the pitch. I love his passion.
Yeah.
I love the way he goes. Right, he's a bit dirty as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I like that. He leaves a bit on, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dan. I reckon he could be Leeds captain.
Really?
I honestly reckon he's got the sense and sensibility. I really do.
just pan your camera down. What's in that glass? How strong is it?
How much has he been paying you, Dan James?
It's milk. It's milk.
You wait and see, lads. You wait and see. I think he's got the personality that'll get him there.
I do like Dan James, and I think
maybe.
he has got something that in this division that's something he can do it. You know, and there is that spark of pace, and he might get a couple of goals. But I do feel like we've definitely got better players that are starting ahead of him. Even I'd rather have Anthony than him at the moment as well.
Why?
But it's all personal opinion, isn't it?
I don't know about that.
You Anthony from a previous episode. I don't know what like it's based on. Is it just because of the Bournemouth stats that he got?
Yeah, he's got some really good stats. He's been playing well. He's got something, and we all like that unknown quantity at Leeds, don't we? As well, where we've not seen them too much. We all want them to play, and once they start playing, and they turn out cack, then we can have a go at them. but for now, let's give the lad a chance. But yeah, he's got some good stats. It just in his past couple of games, he hasn't had much time to get into it, really, has he? And he did that toe pod against Millwall, and that's about it, really. I can remember him doing.
He kicked the ground, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went to pass it into the net. He kicked the ground. So,
did anyone see that picture of Dan James when he was at Hull?
Yeah, I saw that. His hair.
If you had hair like that, I'd make him captain. It's like he's from the 70s and he'll kick it out.
Yeah. It's pretty good photo.
The thing is with Dan James, he reminds me of a bit like Pac-Man. He can only run in like straight lines. And he's got his feet are just got 90-degree angles on them, and they're just
fine in the championship. That's fine in the championship.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. You're right.
All day.
So players hate playing against him.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like I agree with Kev. Where he's like, he's more of an impact sub because if you're a defender and you're knackered and you see Dan James coming on, you're like, do you know what I mean? Last thing you want to be doing is chasing the Welsh Sonic up and down that line. But going on to the third goal, then obviously I think it's Luke Ayling who plays, in my opinion, a really good ball.
That's a great pass.
Yeah, just very slick, straight down the middle. And then obviously James has looked up and he has took a nick. And when I saw replay, I was like, he's not getting to it. And then the Millwall player misses it, and Jorginho puts it away. I mean, Dad, did you think Russell were going to score that?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think by this point, right, we were just absolutely fluid. Like, I was like looking at this is going to be 6 or something. I thought we were that dominant. It felt that comfortable and that much fun. It was every moment we got it, and I think that the interesting thing in that game is Luke Ayling is looked out of sorts, and when at the Sheffield Wednesday game in particular, when Jed Spence came on, you kind of really see like how far off it he's been. But even Ayling turns up and starts playing like Messi. You've got a game on it. It's I was just thriving, full of confidence, and going, this is fucking amazing, and this is all I want to happen all the time. Please, Leeds. Of which by Wednesday night we found out wasn't going to be the case.
Yeah, we'll get on to that. We'll get on to that. So the James, what did you think to the ref? I think he was okay. What do you think?
I thought he was absolutely off his head. He was determined not to give a yellow card. I mean, there was some that he probably could have give, definitely, but he weren't doing it.
Nonto got blocked off,
and he weren't going to give you.
Yeah, those blocks against Nonto were definite yellow cards, weren't they? Off the ball ones. They're straight yellow cards, and I just don't understand why he weren't doing it. I think he's making a point not to give yellow cards in a Leeds Millwall game to show that he's handled it really well. Yeah. But in reality, there should have been a few. I think so.
Yeah,
I saw a few people saying, has this referee forgot his cards or something? Because these tackles, because Nonto were getting, the stuffing kicked out of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just to get your opinion on the third goal, James, did you think James would mess it up at that point when he got the ball, or do you think he were on fire?
I think if he didn't if it didn't hit the defender, the other defender would have got it. So it was sort of lucky that it hit him because it sort of set him off pace a bit, and he had to turn back. So because he got back, that player actually got back ahead of Ruta just slightly.
Yeah.
So if that ball would have went round, he would have stopped it. So it was sort of lucky that it did hit the defender.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was.
I suppose he meant that as well, didn't he? Meant
Definitely.
to kick it off, didn't he?
I hope so. I hope so.
You don't think is it too much of a statement to say Dan James changed the game? Is it like
I'll tell you something.
It was 1-0 up, but and then all of a sudden, it like we looked amazing. You know, we looked absolutely.
Yeah, I think we looked good all over. To be fair,
do you know what?
But he did make a difference.
Yeah, if
he sort of took the pressure off him a bit more.
Yeah, he stretched them a bit, didn't he? When like they were scared and they were like dropping off and moving no more over towards him and giving Rutter a bit more space as well. He was holding the ball up quite well. So let's give Dan James some credit there. Actually, you know,
Dan James,
he's probably going to start tomorrow, isn't he? He's going to ask him now.
He's got it right.
Nah, maybe. I don't think he will. I think Anthony's going to come in.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know. I think he'll go with James.
I've just got off the phone with Farker.
Right, is that why?
Yes, Anthony will go on the left. He's French now, apparently.
It must have been someone else talking to you, mate.
Yeah,
that must have been a bogus call. Because that weren't Farker.
It was Darko Milanic, whatever his name is.
It was Thomas Christiansen.
It was Thomas Christiansen.
Yeah,
it was farking no one.
Farking no one.
So obviously we can't talk about Millwall and not mention the bouncing Ponce in Zebedee, the dub Zebedee, Shooty Bum man. If you're a returning listener, you will know all about Shooty Bum. Dad, have you heard of Shooty Bum?
Yeah, totally. No, when I saw you mention that, I was with you. Yeah, it's a horrible.
It must be Northern.
I think we call it ring sting.
Yeah, ring sting.
No, it's not.
It's not ring sting.
We have ring sting too, but
you've got different levels of bum pain. This is
bum pain is pretty fucking awful.
It's probably from the mines, isn't it? Really, it's probably from the mines, I guess. Yeah,
probably from. Yeah, we're not as northern as you.
Saying it's hereditary, hereditary Shooty Bum.
The more northern you go, the more ass pain you get. So Scotland are just absolutely walking around in absolute pain
with their thistle bombs. Yeah.
Why do you think they hate us so much?
Oh no, yeah, it's because they got thistle bomb. Yeah,
Shooty Bum.
Shooty Bum. Yeah.
Shooty Bum.
I'm moving down.
So, Dad, when you saw the Arctic,
yes.
So when you saw that video, I mean, what's the point in that? As a grown man, and can you just imagine his kids at home? Mummy, why is Daddy bouncing on a chair? What's he saying to those men?
They're the same geezers who teach their kids at the age of 2 to do the slit your throat sign to anyone who walks past. That he was perfect. He was almost Brock Lesnar, like carved out type, like
Audi version.
Millwall. Yeah. That is who I want to look at when Millwall are losing 3-0. He was a gift. He was an absolute gift.
He's the sort of bloke who would feed his kids scampi fries and Coke in a glass bottle. That's the sort of bloke he looked like, didn't he? Yeah.
And
you think he's got kids? No way. That man ain't breeding.
No, he's got loads.
Probably, but he's got loads
of kids. Want to kidnap a few.
I just saw. Are you not hoping he turns up at Ellen Road for the away game? For their away game, our home game, obviously.
I feel sorry for our seats if he does.
I hope he does, because everyone will just identify him out the crowd and sing to him for the whole match. It'll be wonderful. We should invite him. We should just take him to the game.
Yeah, I think you'd spot him anyway, because he'd be doing something dodgy.
It's an away game for him. It's an away game for him next, so it won't be a grey tracksuit. It'll be a different colour.
Yes,
he'll have to put his away tracksuit on.
Yeah,
boy.
His Lonsdale tracksuit.
I don't think. I think it's got one. I think he'll just paint that one he's got a different color.
It
seems dripping as he comes up.
Turn it inside out because that's the only set he's got.
Mm.
Like the memes were brilliant on that though. What I will
They
say,
were
they're very
fantastic.
Danny, you were pulling out some good ones, mate. You were pulling out some good ones on the bouncy castle. I like that one. That was one of my favourites.
You've got to act fast, mate. Otherwise, do you know? I put it out on my personal Twitter, and it got like 80,000 views or something like that. Crazy.
How many?
We did one. We did one with Teletubbies to it, which did all right. Teletubby music.
Yeah. He's an idiot. It's just it ruins football though, doesn't it? Don't you think it ruins football? People like that though. I mean,
it adds a little bit to it.
But I was watching the video, and there was a guy holding his kid in the background, and as soon as he saw it, he just walked out the ground because that's not what you want to see.
Booted his kid over the road, and then come back and started bouncing with him.
James, this is a family show. James, this is a family show.
I mean, it really is.
PG, please. So overall, were you? I mean, I were really happy with the result. I don't know if I told you, but I was doing the 3 peaks, and the result came through. So, Kev, were you overall? Were you really happy with that?
Yeah. Well, I'm honestly, the way we've started this season, I took 1-0 win. I took a scrappy win. I'd take anything. So, a 3-0 win where we're playing some fluid, possession-based football is. I'm over the moon with it. And I think that's how we're going to start playing when we're at home. And I think we'll get a lot of results like that when we are playing at home. And then the away ones are just going to be a little bit harder because everyone's going to sit in a low block. But they didn't. Well, they tried.
The other way around, I reckon. I reckon they'll come up when teams are at home. I think they're more inclined to come at us because they're in front of the home ground. Is that what we've won? Yeah, is that what we've won our away games and not won at home? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And it's going to be a pain in the ass for us this year. I'm telling you. Fucking hell, it will.
I hope not. I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, that's the case, isn't it? For when everyone's cup final, aren't we?
Oh, Reading are winning. Sorry.
No, I don't. You're on 1-0.
So
Reading are winning.
We just before that, we found out that Jed Spence were out for about 8 weeks with is it a knee ligament injury? I mean, I know you were massive on him, Kev, weren't you? Jed Spence.
Yeah, big time.
Absolutely gutted.
Yeah, I am. I think he's a great player, and the more games Eiling's going to play, the more his knees are going to fall out. Obviously, you know what the funny thing about Luke Ayling is? He needs a break. He needs not to play a couple of games because he's being thrown in the limelight a lot, and he just does some daft shit when he's out playing. he needs to rest some games. He really, really does, and he probably would be better if he rested a few games. But yeah, I mean, now we know that we've got Spence ready and waiting to come in, everyone's going to attack Ayling if he has a bad game. Does that make sense to anybody else? That because we've got Spence, it's going to take a lot more stick.
To be fair, when he said the news about Spence, I seen Ayling's head can't go. I think he did it. I think maybe nailed him.
I reckon Luke Ayling is still running around his garden now because if he stops running, he'll die. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of them like that. It's like I just kept on running, like Forrest Gump.
It's mad when you see across the line and he's the furthest man forward on the right hand side.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like we've mentioned this before. It's like when you're a kid and you're attacking. And you've got all the energy in the world, but when you got to run back and defend, you don't want to do it. And that's what I feel like I see with him. He's just like, "Oh, attack!" He'll just boot it forward, and then he'll just like, he's got all the energy in the world, but when it's time to get back, he can't do it.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Luke Ayling this season, Dad?
I kind of mentioned it at the top. It's quite evident he's off it, and maybe to Kev's point, it might be a rest. I don't know. Decision making isn't as sharp. Like positioning, one thing with that. But I think Fark mentioned it today and saying how important he is for the team. And I think we can all feel that, can't we? You know, it's the vibe we get from him as much as his maybe his ability now is diminished as it is compared to what it used to be. But I think that the important part with that is when Jed Spence came on in the Sheffield Wednesday game, it was like, wow. Like all of a sudden you went, the golfing class was so evident. And there was a bit where, you know, he ran back and put a goal-saving tackle in. Now, if you're thinking, if that's Ayling, he's still up front, you know, the back with him. So
doing the air guitar.
Look, exactly.
Oh shit!
Again, he's still thinking he scored from Huddersfield.
Yeah,
it's you know, it's not sad by any stretch of imagination because he puts in a great, you know, for him his shift. He gives us everything, but you know, we need Jed Spence back. That's going to be proper game changing for our whole game when we have that lad back.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it'll be like lightning. I think it'll change the team. Just before we move on to Hull, then obviously Gary Rowett had one morning about not having the fouls and stuff. And he mentioned it.
What fouls?
I've got a clip.
What foul?
I've got a clip of Gary Rowett if you want to hear it. You know, for the first goal. For the first goal, he thought he should have had a penalty. But anyway, I'll play the clip. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is what he had to say. I can't really tell what he was trying to say.
I think that's out of order. You can't say shit like that. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Vile. And there's no need to bring Russell Brand either, was
absolutely out of order. Report him. Report him to the FA. Yeah, pal.
It's a good job I blurred it out anyway.
Yeah.
So moving on. Anyway, so we moved on. Are you right, Kev?
He's gone. Kev's gone.
Kev's deceased.
Oh shit.
So
come back.
So yeah, we moved on.
Come back to us.
Okay.
So obviously, I were a bit anxious going into this game because I'm not going to call them a Yorkshire rival because they don't want to be called East Yorkshire, do they? The Humberside now or whatever they are.
Right.
And there's no tigers in Hull.
What river runs through Hull?
The River of Doom.
Humber.
The Humber, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. They're not rival.
There you go.
There you go.
They weren't anyway.
Descendant of Vikings.
Give a shit about a river.
I know, yeah. And it's not even a good-looking river. It's brown and
it's horrible.
rubbish.
It is horrible as well, yeah. And you got to pay to get over that bridge as well.
Taste disgusting as well. Horrible taste.
This is where we rank bridges. Welcome to Not Another Leeds podcast.
This is an angle that the podcast would take.
Right angle.
Michael.
Right angle of this bridge is amazing.
Yeah. Normally a 180. So, what were your vibe, James, before this game?
I've just checked and I've just clarified that the Three Peaks is a brothel. Anyway,
that explains a lot.
Going into this game, I thought like these are the games that you have your little setbacks and there's a team that just gets on your nerves and you just want to beat them. And I thought I did think we were going to beat them though, because I still think we're really better than every team that we played. But yeah, I said it on ours, didn't I, Kev, that a game like Hull's going to be like a little setback where we're just still learning the system, and there's going to be teams that just annoy the shit out of you. But yeah, I did think we're going to win though.
I did think we were going to win too.
Yeah.
Did you think they were going to sit back, or do you think that
no?
Because okay, we'll move on. So, Dad, what were your vibes before the game? Because I know that you're.
Bear with me.
I was just buzzing. I was absolutely buzzing off Millwall still, thinking we're going to go over to Hull and absolutely thrash them lot. And, Tyler Roberts type limbs going everywhere. And, I was ready for it. So, I mean, this is a thing, isn't it? Without jumping ahead to the final result too much now, because I know you're leading us there, but there seems to be this kind of vibe this season, where you get we get so excited, and then the next game, like literally within 2 days, it's completely different, and you're like going, Jesus, it's like, but then you look at the stats, and we've had 3 clean sheets, and you go, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That is absolutely. that's happened, and so I was just super positive going into it. You know, I was like ready for a 10-0 or something.
Yeah, well, I think we predicted. Well, James predicted, I think 6-0 against Sheffield Wednesday because he loves a good old prediction, doesn't he?
Well, this is it. No, but I get that. I get why we would have done that, and then Sheffield Wednesday happens, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Totally get it.
Got the nil right though, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's still got his headphones in, and he's walking around. He can still hear us. Yeah.
That's on the door out. Sorry.
But like,
Put her back in a cage.
so,
But you're going, why's Mummy gone to Legoland without me, Dad? And I'm just listening to you talk to 3 Leeds United fans. For God's sake.
I'll give her a bit of meat.
Shh.
She's all right. Sorry.
so
The free
on.
peaks. The free peaks.
Yeah, the free peaks.
free
That's what it is. Did I mention I did that? No.
No.
Did I mention that?
Yeah,
No.
we've established where you went.
9
as well,
hours.
you dirty bugger. Come on.
9
Who's
hours,
that
48 minutes.
The free peaks. That lady from Total Recall.
2 weeks.
2
weeks.
Get in the chopper.
But I thought,
Oh, you're
this is a serious podcast.
Yeah.
This is a serious podcast about serious things. The 3 peaks. Anyway, so
Yes.
up until the 60th minute, I thought we were battering them. I think they pass it around sideways for a bit, and then they just try and lump it up top, and obviously Rodon got there. Dad, did you? First of all, let's all talk about the first yellow card for Rodon. Yeah, Dad, I'll come to you first. So I think it's just a shit refereeing. That was absolutely he wins the ball, hits his shins, and then I can't remember who it was, ran in front of him, did his version of the alien flop, and somehow got a free kick, and he got booked for it.
Yeah, he was on his way down, weren't he? He was on his way down as
Yeah.
Rodon's got to the side. I said this myself. That Philigine's gone down, and then Rodon's come in and won the ball. It wasn't even a foul, never mind in the yellow card. It's pathetic.
What a foul.
No.
He touched the ball away from his feet as well.
Yeah.
He just fell over. That's
You know, it
bullshit.
goes
Absolute
from
bullshit.
Millwall, where people are flying up in the air, there's limbs, blood, you know, all over the bit, and no one gets a yellow card, to that. And then you just go, yeah, we're in the championship. That's it. That's for championship.
Yeah, it's like with the Premier League, it's a double-edged sword with the VAR, because it's just absolutely horrendous. You can't win either way.
Prefer this way though.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the West Brom game where he just bitch slapped it into the net, obviously that gets ruled out in the Premier League. But because I was on holiday in Cyprus, and
Shit anyway.
shout out to Cyprus. So obviously, I think that, James, what's your thoughts on that first yellow card? Then I know you said it was shit, but
It was.
It
It
was
was
in-depth
ridiculous. In depth. What do you mean in
I want
depth?
in
I
depth
mean,
from you. It was really
I
shit.
don't know what.
So
I don't even know why the player was side on from him. And it was weird. The position of the player, because Rodon was running that way with the ball, and this player just sort of appeared in front of him, and he just carried on kicking the ball past him, and the player just fell over in front of him. Yeah,
I think
so definitely yellow card, obviously.
Yeah. I think it would. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. We're just full of vocabulary isms. So I think he knew he wasn't going to get the ball because Ampadu cleared up, and then Kev, do you want to talk us through the second yellow? Was it justified?
It was a bit stupid. Yeah, it's probably a yellow card. Yeah, I'd say so. But as a Leeds fan, no, it weren't. It was not. It weren't a yellow card. But yeah, it was a yellow card. Obviously, you shouldn't have got the first one. I'm just talking in a circle here. Yeah. But yeah.
No, you're right, though.
Ruined the game. Ruined the game. I think we would have went on and won if Rodon would have stayed on the way we were building momentum as well.
I thought we did great after that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think I messaged every Leeds United WhatsApp group I'm in going, we fuck this. But then I was going, do you know what? We could actually, get a draw or nick this. And then, we'll probably come on to the amazing feat of a miss anyone's ever seen since Ronnie Rosenthal. But it's
Peter Devine.
Yeah. I
think Bamford.
The Rutter miss really boiled my piss. in the first half.
Let's talk about that then, Dad. You talk us through your reaction to that miss. Obviously, Somerville's played him through, and he's in my opinion, I think he's had too much time.
I turned into my reaction to that was the same as a lot of those Millwall fans at full time. You know, the expletives were what I just couldn't believe, because he's kind of got this in his locker, hasn't he? And I think there's a real lack of composure from Rutter. And you know, in the same thing, we were all saying, isn't it great seeing how he celebrates? And I think it was at the end of a Sheffield Wednesday game, he cried, and he's a very emotional guy, and I think that affects his composure. And I think that was a perfect example. It's almost like I'm too excited, and all of a sudden his limbs do something that he doesn't want them to do, and he's like, fuck, panic. And I think there's a lack of composure, and I think at Salford in particular, across the board, that really showed. You know, the shots we were having, and it was like just, you know, thrash at it, no real control, and steel and coldness. You know, if you remember the greats, I mean, I'm old enough to remember Lee Chapman, guys. I don't know if you guys
only just, yeah. We're on the cusp there, yeah.
He was cold as ice.
Yeah,
I mean, he's probably a real boring man, but he was cold. And then you look at Viduka, a bit more about him, but he was fucking cold. He was ruthless, you know. In what whereas Rutter's this emotional ball of energy that doesn't have the composure of a, you know, clinical striker. Now, Perot looks like he's got that right.
Yeah,
straight away we've got a guy who just I'm cold, and I'm not messing around here. Touch in, happy days.
That's all that matters, mate, isn't it? I mean, what you'll notice about Perot is that he's always in the right positions. Yeah. But I mean, I think he was just unfortunate and got sacrificed, didn't he? Against Hull.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think anyone brought much to that game. It was probably one of our poorest performances, but we still look so in control, right?
Yeah, we were battering them.
Yeah, and we, you know,
when Somerville come on, especially when Somerville come on,
Somerville was a bit of a change.
Yeah, we just absolutely took control when he come on.
Yeah, I think Barker likes mobility, doesn't he? You can see that by bringing Perot. If he likes people that are going to chase everything,
he's got more
down.
Scooters.
Yeah, mobility scooters, for God's sake. But yeah, he likes mobility. He likes people that are going to be chasing it around, and I think that's why he left Rutter on and took Perot off. That's my take on it, anyway.
Yeah, saved his legs for Watford, I reckon.
Yeah, I think Somerville did change the game. I think he's a good, really, like, he could play in that 10 if you know, he were to replace. I just think I really like Somerville. I did think last season I wasn't quite sold on him, but I think this season it's good for him to come into this championship, because it is, I mean, as Nonto's found out, it is a rough league. I think he has been in the gym a bit. So what do you think? Like, Cresswell missed out. Do you think he's like sort of kicking his feet? Like, Cooper's come back from injury. He's obviously not. I mean, when Cooper came on, he was very Coopery, should we just say? James, what did you think about Cooper being very Coopery?
There it was.
I didn't think much about it, to be honest with you. I just laughed. You have to just get to that point with Cooper now when he does shit like that. You have to just laugh. I would have been a bit pissed off if it had led to a goal, but it didn't. So you just have to laugh at it, don't you? But he did do an absolute fucking amazing tackle.
He did. It was good.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
So
that's Maldini.
That was some Beckenbauer. That stuff.
He does do shit like that. He does do shit like that, like every now and then, and you think, I like that. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
But then he'll fall over and try and head the ball on the floor, was 3 meters away from him.
It was the big jump for that slide and tackle for. What are you doing? You're gonna get injured, mate. You come on.
What gives me the shits is the miscommunication between Cooper and Meslier, or Medjlier, as the guy was saying. Masilla, that was it. Masilla and Struck, was it?
Struck. See, I never got that. I had a no sound free radio legal service.
Oh yeah,
to me in Ireland, and but I could see everybody talking about that, and like at some point I might have heard it. Was it? I think the Square Ball mentioned it. Said it was almost he started taking like as if he went off to read Twitter or something.
Yeah.
I said,
somebody must
Leeds
have found
fans
his.
contacted me.
I think somebody found his Twitter and they put it out there in the Leeds United universe, and they've all found it and just saying, "Shut up, you idiot! What are you talking about?
Brilliant.
Strike it." Yeah. But going on to Cresswell, do you think Cresswell's kicking his feet, or do you think he has to bide his time, Kev? I mean, because if you're seeing Cooper, I mean, granted that he's seasoned, he's experienced, and he's the captain of Leeds United when he's fit and playing. Do you think Cresswell's just got to bide his time, or do you think he'll be just
I
biting
think
his
he'll be.
lip a bit? You know?
I think it's going to be a bit of both because he's probably, obviously, maybe possibly been given some assurances about his playing time this year because there was obviously a lot of interest in him, and he's probably said, "No, we want you to stay. You'll get this, this, and this."
Signed a
But
new contract.
yes, I think he's brought Cooper on to go for the experience of being down to 10 men, and that's why he's done that. We'll see tomorrow. I think tomorrow's going to be a better gauge of where Cresswell is in this team, considering he's a right-footed centre back. And yeah, I think tomorrow will be the acid test of Barker and Cresswell to see what's going to be going on in that team.
Yeah, we'll come on to that later on when we do his predictions, but that'll be interesting to see what people say. Let's get on to the absolute grace that was that miss. I was sat in me. I didn't watch it at this point. I caught the last 10 minutes on the radio in the van, and just as I heard Popey say, Connolly's in, he squares it, and at that millisecond, I put a prayer out into the universe. And now I'm not a religious man, right?
Yeah.
But I like to think that I'm not going to take credit for it. But all I'm saying is it didn't go in.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dad?
I think it's on you, that Danny. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, well,
We almost
you're welcome.
we absolutely almost banjacked the whole thing, didn't we? There, you know, it was. Do you know it was really because there was no replays, was there? Because of the red button on the TV. So there was a real like, that's gone in or something, or you thought something has happened that was to the naked eye at the time, like, you know, was there a balloon there, like what happened with Liverpool that time? Was something there that none of us know about? And lo and behold, it just became one of the greatest misses in football history. And thank God it was on our terms.
Yeah, I mean,
start him. If he was your player, would you start him next game?
No.
Traore was your player. You'd go, mate, I've got to drop.
But I listened to Joe yesterday, and he's got the the White Rose Rivals. He had a Hull fan on, and he was saying that when they had him on loan, that he played really well, and he really turned up for some crucial goals for him. But then since he's signed permanently, he's just not got his shot, and he's been really rubbish, and his confidence has been bad, and we saw that last whenever it was Wednesday night, and thank God he's shit, because that would have really ruined my night. I would have punched my sandwich, I think.
That last line, thank God he's shit. Haven't you found this season we've said that a lot as just thank God they're shit, or thank God, because when we're trying to self-destruct at the back by go Cooper gadget head to reach a ball miles away, when we're making a real mess of it, that luckily they're really shit and we don't. Whereas in the Premier League, you're 5-0 down, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's right. That goes in. Anywhere else, I think that goes in. Kev, what did I heard the crowd celebrate over the radio. What did you do? Did you pull your telly off the wall? Or?
I had my head in my hands, and then when I've just looked up and I've get this like massive sigh of relief, and a little. That's about it, though. Yeah, it's a little wee. I thought Leeds were going to do something Leedsy, and it didn't happen. It just shows, though, that there's a bit of steel in this team, isn't there? And I'm really happy with that.
Yeah. And with the post.
James?
Yeah, the steel of the post, yeah.
I think the man of match what post, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great save.
Yeah, great
save from the post. It won't wear him white, that's all I'm saying. So obviously today we've had the press conference and we found out that Nonto's going to be injured for we don't have a time scale. I've seen variation from January to 8 weeks, but it looks
January
like a lengthy
transfer window.
Yeah, I mean, they've got pots of money there, so I don't see why we can't go out and get someone else. Do you know what I mean? But Do you think we'll miss him massively, James? Do you think we'll? I mean, obviously, luckily we've got Anthony in the Sinisteri deal, but would you start Dan James?
I'm gonna have to, mate. We'll miss his talent because he is a talented player, but I'm saying he might be injured to the January transfer window, so he can leave. This might be a little.
Oh, do you think that's?
it?
I think he's playing his old games, do you?
Seriously, do you think there's
No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe
I don't
that.
know.
Don't think that's
I don't know.
I don't know if you can actually do that. Is that actually possible to be able to fake an injury until the
he'll be back before December. He'll be back before December. I'm telling you.
Hopefully, he'll be.
He'll be back before. He'll be back in November. I'm telling you.
I think somebody's lent him the DVD of Misery. Maybe that's where he's got the idea from. I think it'll be a massive miss. Obviously, he's a good talent, and I'm so glad he didn't go to Everton. But
I think so is he now.
Would have been funny though if he did. It would have been hilarious if he did.
Jack Harrison's probably not going to play till for a few months as well. He's a little shitbag.
Well, at least he's looking at our results there.
Yeah.
He probably looked at well done, Leeds. You've got 3 clean sheets. Yeah. Well done. And obviously some good news. Dallas is back in training.
Yeah.
Dad, are you buzzing with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's going to contribute massively to this season, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's come back fixed, and we won't know that until he is he's probably doing some minutes on the pitch, but hopefully he's fully. I mean, is it 18 months? Did I read? I went, is that one? Isn't it?
You got to look. He didn't play once last season, did he at all? That's how crazy it is.
Was it the game? Was it Man City game where it happened? Wasn't it? And I was there
against Grealish. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I went, wow. And but look, I think in this league, when you look how good we are, right, and how good our players are playing, you can Dallas, even if he's a third of a player he's going to have a good season.
He's playing left back.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Do you know, for a second, I forgot we had Firpo.
Yeah,
for a second,
I think we all do, don't we?
Yeah.
We haven't got him. What you on about?
Yeah. I did say a couple of weeks ago, didn't I, about Stuart Dallas coming back when we're going through a tough patch. Stuart Dallas would come back and save us. I said this because he could be playing in October. Stuart Dallas could be playing in October.
I don't know.
I want that narrative. I want him to be the hero. Although it'll be, I do think Sam Byram is going to turn out to be the bargain of the century for us.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
He looks amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Stuart Dallas is a hero. He's gonna do really, really well.
That's a bad injury, mate. That's your thigh bone.
Yeah.
You don't know how he's gonna feel coming back.
Well, I know, but I'm just dreaming.
Especially in the Championship where there's booting crap out of you every week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's just from the fans.
I'm not sure.
I didn't could say could be back in contention within 3 weeks or something like that.
Wow,
if I read that wrong, yeah.
No, I think you did, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they chucked him straight in at left back because that's a very easy thing to do.
Well, essentially, for training with the first team like he is, the reason it's such big news is essentially available.
Yeah.
No, that's him. That's him now available. I mean, I'd like to think they weren't going to throw him in against Watford in any shape.
Farkas said that, didn't he? If you train in the with us, it means you're available for selection. He said that. Yeah.
First team training. Why wouldn't you be available to? You wouldn't be training if you were injured still, So he's obviously, ticking all the boxes. And like I say, I think it'd be interesting to see him going into because we can play him in the under-21 still, can't we? That's still the gig, isn't it? So that'll be fascinating to see him get through that. And I was talking about Dan James as captain. Well, actually now,
you changed your mind.
In the mix, Dan James's chances, I've got to admit, even to myself, have probably lowered a bit if he's coming back through. So,
yeah,
I think Stuart Dallas will end up running for mayor of Leeds. I think
something like that.
Well ingrained in Leeds United.
So we
something
should
like that.
Yeah,
he's got the key to the city. That's what we'll give.
To be sure,
he got punished by the Man City gods, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because he scored them 2 goals.
Worth it, though.
Dallas
didn't even agree it was worth it. Last minute winner at Man City.
That was amazing. Jesus Christ.
That's one of the greatest days of my life. That is. And
was.
I was absolutely hanging watching the game as well. Absolutely hanging. And I was like that.
Yeah.
And then Dallas has scored. And
Do it again. Do that impression again.
Do that again.
Oh, there we go.
No, because he's gonna use it as a short. He's gonna use it as a short.
Absolutely.
So and then as he scored, I've like got hung over and I've jumped up on the sofa. I did a front flip and landed on my feet. It was one of the greatest days of my entire life, and I remember it forever.
Should have filmed it.
I honestly sobered up within seconds after scoring that winner.
It was the whole John Stones thing, wasn't it? Because everyone's going, look at John Stones. He's like the centre back who's run all the way up the pitch and he's like taking shots on that from.
Oh, John Stones did rip us apart though in that game, didn't he? He just kept running through.
That was Bielsa's weakness. Defenders running through us and having a shot.
I just remember because Cooper got sent off as well, didn't he? In that game, Cooper was sent off.
Good tackle as well.
For like 70 minutes, they're just running right through us through the middle of the park, and then Alioski slips that ball through. But I remember we could have had another one towards the end, and Rafinha's running through. And wiped him out. Yeah,
absolutely wiped him out in the thigh.
Yeah, it's games like this. I can't tell you what some of the moves that happened last in the game against Hull the other night, but when we beat Man City, I can remember so much about that game. Yeah. It's like remembering Tony Yeboah's games from back in the day. I remember everything. Yeah, it's like when we beat AC Milan, I remember everything.
Just a core memory.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Remember the good times.
Remember when we used to win a lot? Yeah,
I remember
when we were good. Remember we were good that time.
We should just end there. Remember the good times.
Remember the good times. I remember we used to have good kits as well, though.
And then it blows up.
James, which was the good kit? What was the good kit? The blue and the light blue and dark blue pack.
The Lazio kit. The old Lazio kit.
The Leeds
Michael
Lazio
Bridges
kit.
season.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's my favourite kit of all time. That one is, I'd say.
Because we didn't have a forward, did we? And then Michael Bridges just stepped up and just started pinging goals in from everywhere. Yeah. That Southampton game, I was like, "What's going on? We bought Darren Huckabee."
Yeah,
I remember that when in that game. Another thing that sticks out is when Mark Hughes scored and the ball went in and come off the advertising board behind and come straight back out. Oh, absolute class!
Dal. Oh yeah, what a ground that was.
Right,
it's massive, wasn't it?
Well, Daddy's trying to move us along now. Sorry,
it's like a car park. Sorry.
Tangent alert. So rounding up on Hull overall. Good point, Dad, or points dropped definitely?
I mean, it's points dropped, but at the same time, and I would say that just because of a rutter chance in the first. There was the Somerville shot. I think I would love to have seen that going in, but I think realistically, it was a savable shot, as amazing as it was. I think it's points dropped because of what could have gone before the sending off. But you've just got to sit back and go, that's 3 clean sheets in a row. Mm-hmm. I mean, I never thought I'd say that about Leeds ever again.
If we pick up 3 points tomorrow, I'd be in 2 away games and 1 home game and 7 points. I'd take that. I'd snap your hand off for that.
If we win tomorrow and beat Saints, I'll come on the stream in fancy dress. And I'll let you pick.
What you were anyway.
Dirk Diggler.
He really wants to do it. You wanted to do it for ages, didn't you, mate? Wear your mountain gear. Then you go to the brothel.
Yeah. You wear 3 peaks. Put that on.
Yeah.
So when
I conquered 3 peaks. 3 peaks.
I think that's our first major test next week, isn't it? Is Southampton. That's our
we'll run through them.
They're short.
We'll turn them inside out like a pair of old underpants, mate.
Isn't it?
We'll have a bit of the ball, but we'll be.
Isn't it Saturday morning? Yes. Saturday morning, 12:30 kickoff. That one. Ooh,
yeah,
I hate those games. It can ruin my weekend really early. That's why I don't like them.
Right then, so we've got Watford tomorrow, and I want to hear your predictions. Kev, you're going to the game, aren't you?
Yes. James, what did I say? Fancy. Yeah, what did I say? My prediction was, James.
Same as me. 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. I said we're going to win 3-0.
Nah.
No,
me as well. I was exactly the same.
3-0.
3-0.
And Somerville's going to score.
First goal.
Somerville's going to score. First
goal. Do you agree with that, Dad? 3-0.
Yeah, I wrote it down here. Yeah, I had it down as in my prep for the show. I went 3-0 tomorrow. Yep. I think it's and I'm going to go for do we do lineups yet? Sorry, Danny, I'm getting ahead.
No. Go for it, mate. Go for it.
I think Cresswell will start tomorrow. I think he'll be the one who comes in and Coops will be on the bench, ready to come on if Cresswell, bang jacks at his opportunity. But yeah,
I need to lick the floor.
Yeah, I think it'll be more or less the same side with Somerville in for Nonton.
Oh, you think Somerville for Nonton?
Yeah.
I think it makes
What about
sense. I think it makes sense.
He will.
Yeah,
he has to.
I'd like to see Cresswell start as well. After what we talked about earlier, if he doesn't start Cresswell tomorrow, then there's something.
Cresswell
doesn't fancy him.
Request. He's got to put a transfer request
Yeah.
in because he's just signed a contract to be the 4th choice centre back. If that's the case, so.
Yeah, that's for future us to worry about. That's not tomorrow.
He'll play games.
I've got a question,
James.
Sorry.
No, go on, mate.
What Dan?
Does that Ismail Assar
Nothing.
still play for Watford? Because I don't want to see him play against Luke Ayling tomorrow. Oh, he's gone. Good. Fuck me.
I think he went
Stuck in a post box.
I'm sure he went to Saudi Arabia or something like that. Hold on, let me just check my telephonic machine.
I couldn't tell you, like with a lot of these teams, who the hell plays for them?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to know.
I don't give a shit. To be honest.
I just go. I don't want to know, and
Nice.
might see.
He's gone to Marseille.
Oh, did he?
Oh, that's good then. That's good. Because he would have given Luke Ayling a torrid time tomorrow.
Everyone's going to give Luke Ayling a torrid time.
Luke Ayling gives Luke Ayling a torrid time.
Exactly.
His hair gives him a bad time.
No, the Millwall
Mount
fans
conditioner and shampoo.
Hey, by the way, we've got to give him kudos off for the highlight of the game. If it weren't for the Traore miss, the highlight of the game was him getting booked for play acting in the corner when that lad.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
All at him and he went. Ooh. He was great.
He gives it the big one, doesn't he? Yeah.
He had a big chance though. He had a big chance in the game, really, didn't he? Where he could have crossed it. Yeah,
he should have crossed it.
He should have crossed it, but he just levered it, didn't he?
Seen the light. He seen the light up and his name light up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Elling power. You've run out, mate. Stop.
Field goal, isn't it? It's for Huddersfield. He wants. He's got that in his mind. Recreate.
Yeah, and against Hull. Remember that goal he scored against Hull with the deflection.
Oh yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
I remember watching that.
That was a celebration.
Oh, the fourth
Chicken
goal,
Ayling,
that was sexy as well. That 4th goal.
That's one of the best goals we've
the
seen.
3rd goal. Sorry, the 3rd goal, wasn't it? Yeah.
I thought the Tyler Adams shit the bed. It was a crocked player. Tyler something.
Roberts.
Right, Tyler Roberts. That's the one. One of the Tylers. That header where he crossed it in. Someone crossed it in for a minute.
Yeah.
And just the.
That was the
Tyler
Roberts. Leeds moment that we'll all remember, isn't it? That's
giving it that.
Yeah.
It's the only thing we'll all remember.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only thing he did. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, James, does Cresswell start for you as well?
I'd like to think he does. To be fair to him, but I think he will play this if he stays. I think he will play because of the how long the season is, and they won't. I want them to play. I want Roden and Strout to play the game, but they won't. So he'll play games, and I hope he does start tomorrow. To be fair, because I don't want him to start. I like Strout at right, left back. So.
Yeah, it makes sense because Strike's left-footed and go to left centre back, and you've got Cresswell's right-footed at right centre back. And I think he's got enough.
But he did say that in the press conference today, didn't he? He said it about old German players playing with the same foot. He might be edging towards Cooper and Strout. To be fair, I hope he does put Cresswell in.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'm going to go with 2-1. I think I'll go 2-1 Leeds. I just can't get it out of my head because every time I've made a prediction lately, we've had a clean sheet, and I've always said they're going to score a goal. So I won't give up that trend. But if we do concede first tomorrow, it's because of me. Sorry, boys. We are towards the end of this podcast, and everybody knows that we have a segment. I don't know if you're aware, Dad, but we've got a segment where it's called
Top Knob.
This is Top Knob. So
I've been waiting for this. This is the best feature ever. The jingles are amazing.
He took his trousers off for and everything.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So without further ado,
Top Knob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back. Have you got any nominations for Top Knob this week?
I mean, it's got to be Bounty Millwall scumbag, right?
Yes,
I
definitely.
mean, he's the clear winner, surely.
I always go get him first, and then James says I was gonna say that one, so I was gonna let everybody else have a go this week.
all
Yeah,
right.
but it's definitely Bouncy Millwall, Lonsdale tracksuit scumbag.
Yeah.
Is that his name now?
Yeah.
Millwall scumbag bouncy
Bouncy
guy.
Millwall scumbag, I think. Bouncy Millwall scumbag. Yeah.
Well, okay. I think it's unanimous. I think so. Congratulations.
He will get
to,
up to that stand one day. He will. He'll fly
Yeah.
one day.
But
Believe,
he will.
believe Bouncy
By the
Millwall.
way,
Yeah.
by the way, Andrea Radrizzani is still top of the knobs. So
Is
he's
he?
on 2
Yeah.
nominations, and the rest are on 1. So this Millwall bouncy idiot guy is this week's top knob.
Top knob.
Yes.
I love that
It's
so much.
funky, isn't it?
Great,
So
isn't it?
funky.
Get right in there.
Right. And now
Top
we
knobber.
end the podcast on Ash's question corner. Now, Dad, you know all about Lord Ash on Twitter. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So this is a question to all of you, and you know how random these are. And I apologise if this offends anyone, because it probably might. So you're all on your deathbed, but there's 2 cures that can cure any illness that you make up in this imaginary scenario. So you can either have a slice of poo lasagna on a plate, or you can drink a wee cocktail. Any cocktail you want, but it's just full of wee. What are you having, Dad?
Can I just ask a question on the poo lasagna? Does what does the poo replace in the lasagna? The mince, the meat,
The mince.
or
It's got to be the mince.
Imagine,
That's the bit of mince.
imagine a plate of shit
yeah?
with cheese on it
Also, it's just with cheese
and white sauce.
Cheese.
Oh, it's got white sauce. You see, the white sauce is a real.
I've been kind
Real
to you
blender.
there.
It's a
I've
real
been kind to you.
blender.
I know, but that makes a difference. But rather than a glass of piss,
Is that-
basically, right? It's just a glass
It's got,
of piss in a
it's got
cocktail.
it's got an umbrella and a cherry. What more do you want? It's frothy. you
I'm
know,
going.
It could be a pina colada.
The white sauce does it for me. It's poo lasagna. Hey,
Oh,
Full lasagna. Go on. I'll come to you, James. I'll let Kev sit on it.
I'll probably sit on what? I'll probably attempt the piss, but I'll probably end up dying. Being honest.
Oh, it's a cure. It's a cure.
yeah.
James, it's a cure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I have to actually drink it to have that cure, don't I? So I'll
You've got to
attempt
nick it,
the piss.
Okay.
You could just think of it as a piss colada. There you go.
Or I'll put it through a filter and then just neck it as water.
It's down in 1. There you go. So you've got 1 piss. We've got 1 pool lasagna. You're the tiebreaker, Kev. What's going on?
Oh, there's a lot of pressure here.
Remember the white sauce, Kev?
I'm gonna be honest. I played Saturday and Sunday football for years, and drinking piss is not even that bad. So I'm gonna go for the piss. Yeah.
Hang on a minute. How is that even connected?
You had
How
to
is the
survive.
story?
Yeah.
One
he's just
Sunday
how to survive.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Just getting
well,
booted
yeah.
to shit. You had to
Yeah.
survive.
You have to
Piss
survive,
on your own
yeah.
face.
2
Yeah,
words.
I don't think I could have the texture of poo in my mouth. I'm sorry.
Is there any?
It's just-
Is there any oranges left? No.
No. Oh well.
Piss in my face then.
Don't worry. I've
Have a
got.
bit of piss.
What?
There needs to be another podcast about
I
his
think
football team.
This lemonade's
Broke
gone
my
off.
leg. Where's that sponge? Oh, just piss on my leg. Piss on me. Piss all over me.
You're playing against jellyfish. Is that why you're pissing on your leg?
Yeah.
But I'd go for the piss cocktail, because I just nick it in 1 and just. I don't know if I told you, but when I were on the Free Peaks, I had to
Drink piss.
drink piss and
Five.
I put a shit lasagna. Please subscribe
He's
and like
riddled
it.
now.
Please help us
After doing
out.
free pink.
Yeah. This is a strange one tonight.
Well,
Strange. It's also
random,
been pretty good.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
So
Best
that-
experience in my life.
that brings us to the end of episode 8, Wildlife Week, because we have played the Lions, the Tigers, and we're playing whatever they identify as tomorrow, Hornets or Hearts. But the badge is a heart, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's a deer. It's a moose.
Yeah,
thing.
It's a daddy long legs.
There's something on it.
Pesticides.
Hornets, whatever they call it, aren't they?
They're called the
Hornets,
Hornets,
yeah.
but the badge has got a heart on it, a deer. Fun fact. by
Are we
the way.
called the Shields? No.
No,
Peacocks.
yeah, that's the Leeds Shields. Anyway, tangent time. So, thanks very much for coming on.
No, it was.
These
On the free
Dad,
picks.
thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Check
brilliant.
out the free picks. Thanks for coming on, mate. It's good to see you again. It's been too long, mate. Too long. And hopefully you'll come on back on another time.
Anytime.
Everyone else, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the
Do
Leeds
it.
House guys at the bottom. I'll be going on
Yes,
theirs
yes.
on Sunday. So check us out on Sunday night, and we'll have loads of fun, won't we, lads?
Yes, very much so.
That's what do you think?
For one last time, Gary Rowett wants to win. Right.
Screen.
Bye, everyone. Bye,
Sound.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Boy, disgusting.